Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. My name is FPL Meerkat and today I've got my Game Week 7 team selection for you guys. But before I get into that, let's have a look at how my team did in Game Week 6. And yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up pretty quickly. It was probably the worst game week I've ever had since doing FPL. As you can see there, a red arrow of well over 1 million places there. It was not a good game week for me at all. To be fair, the score itself was not too bad. 59 points, a -4 hit taken, 55 points in total. It was just the wrong week to have a score like this, to be honest. I know a lot of you will have had scores in the 70s, 80s, maybe even the 90s. Maybe even some of you got over 100. It was a really, really high scoring game week. So many assets scoring massively, and many of them I didn't have in my team. The likes of Foden, Mitoma, Son, Maddison I guess I can include since I benched him, Fernandes. There was just so many players who managed to get a massive score. And yeah, so I mean, Salah did return for me again, the highest scorer in my team. I should really consider captaining him a bit more, I think. Neto, who was my transfer in, did actually end up scoring. I did a bit of analysis on my Twitter, basically going over where goals have been conceded for each team, and I did say that I think Neto will get a goal in this week, so I decided to put my money where my mouth was and bring him in, and he did return. But Son returned even higher, the player I took out for him. Yeah, he returned, I think 14, was it? 14 points. So yeah, that didn't really go too well, despite the fact Neto did indeed return. Jota managed to score off the bench, which is pretty lucky for me. Wilson, who I also got in as part of the -4, did return as well. I've only lost, I think, 1 point, from the transfers. Maybe, I think it might have been 5, potentially, points. So, yeah. But the issue was, getting in Neto meant that I benched Maddison, who obviously got a 9-pointer there. To be fair, I probably would have benched Jota instead, though, and he got 6, so that's not too many points difference there. The main problem was the defence. I could have simply just done one of the transfers I was thinking about was Udogie to Botman. That obviously would have been way more points than what my team actually got. Estupiñán and Cash both getting 6 points there. Flecken not getting a clean sheet. Again, another week where so many goalkeepers got massive scores. Flecken just didn't get anything. I'm kind of feeling a bit off about him now. Brentford's defence seems incredibly poor currently as Ben Mee is out. He seems to be a really big carrier for their team. And yeah, he's just not doing the business. Alvarez as well, getting 1 point. I didn't transfer him in. I obviously already had Alvarez. But yeah, it was a very, very poor week for me. A huge rank loss. But of course, the rank isn't too important at this stage in the season, as I've been saying. What matters is the points difference. So I've basically lost 24 points on the crowd is essentially what the result of this week is. So yeah, I just need to regain those 24 points in previous in upcoming game weeks. So yeah, basically hoping for a green arrow in the next game week. At least they're easier to come by now that I'm a lower rank. But yeah, moving on to the Game Week 7 team. So this is a bit of a weird formation at the moment. 4-3-3. Probably won't be a 4-3-3 by the time this comes around. But this is currently, if my team was to stay exactly like this, the team that I would field. Neto and Udogie are definitely going to be on the bench there. Jota, I think I have to transfer. There's just too much of a rotation risk there. I can't guarantee that he's going to keep starting, and he didn't. I got very lucky he got a goal off the bench, but yeah, I think I need to get rid of him. Hoping that Wilson, Alvarez, and Wilson particularly can start the next one. Alvarez I certainly want to keep for that Wolves fixture. I think it's pretty nice on paper. I will have to wait and see what the news is about Maddison. Of course, he did, if you're watching the North London derby, cracking game by the way, really good week 4 football in general. He did really buckle his knee in a landing. He did carry on and finish the game. He did get subbed off near the end, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the extent of that damage is, whether he's going to be out for the Liverpool game, he could just be an easy bench, or whether he could be a future sell. Obviously, the fixtures for Spurs do look really good coming up, and I wish I had Son for them. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have taken that -4. Salah as well in the team. Obviously, I want to keep him. And of course, double game week. I've got a player from both Burnley and Luton, who I just wanted one of each because they were really cheap to put on the bench when I wildcarded, and I don't really know who's going to keep a clean sheet in that, but I've got 4 chances at keeping clean sheets, and at the moment, not many are being kept, so I thought that was a pretty good idea. Estupiñán and Cash obviously playing each other isn't great, and Areola I'm going to start over Flecken, I think. The home fixtures Sheffield United, I think they've got a much better chance than Brentford do away to Nottingham Forest. So in terms of the transfers at the moment, I'm definitely thinking of moving on Jota, probably to the likes of Diaby. I'm also thinking of Son as well, but maybe after the Liverpool game. But yeah, I'm moving of Jota to, I think Diaby's my number 1 pick at the moment. Let me know if there's any other midfielders I should be considering. Saka, obviously someone I'd like to have, but he also did come off with a little bit of an injury. Bruno Fernandes as well, someone else I've considered. I think I can just about make a straight swap from Jota to Fernandes, just how it is. I'm not really looking to bring in any more Burnley or Luton players. Neither of the teams have really encouraged me on their output. I don't think getting rid of Alvarez for Morris is that great of an idea for my team. I'm not confident that Morris outscores Alvarez, and I wouldn't want to keep Morris for the future anyway. So yeah, it just doesn't seem right to make that transfer. And I think I will be captaining Haaland as well. I'm tempted to captain Salah. I think he'll do well in this Spurs game. Spurs did let up a lot of chances to Arsenal. And yeah, I think I'll be keeping the likes of Mbeumo as well. And Mbeumo's really gone off the ball recently, but yeah, not too keen on getting him in. So the current thoughts for transfers are to bring in Diaby into the team. I know the game against Aston Villa isn't great, this upcoming one, but the fixtures after that are brilliant. And I would use that money to then fund Estupiñán up to Trippier, who looked unbelievable in the game against Sheffield United. I'm still annoyed by how my decision making was. I think that Newcastle are going to have a really good game against Sheffield, score a lot of goals, so I brought in Wilson. Wilson only got 1 of the goals, no bonus, in an 8-0 thrashing. The goals were just spread around. I think it was 8 different goal scorers, wasn't it? Absolutely incredible. So yeah, I think the defensive owners for Sheffield, I think you were very lucky. I'm not going to lie. The fact that 3 of the defenders absolutely went massive in an 8-0, and Wilson didn't get, he only got 1 goal, got 6 points. But like, so Botman getting, I think, 12, Burn getting 12, Trippier getting 18. So yeah, I do think I need to get one of their defenders in. I could obviously just do a Estupiñán to Botman. I could just do a straight swap, not take a hit. I'm not really a fan taking back-to-back hits, but I think Trippier is the kind of player I would like to get in. I don't have enough money in the bank to get him in straight away, and I do want to get rid of Jota, so it does make quite a nice transfer. It's not as risky of a -4 that I took last week. I do want to get rid of Estupiñán just because of the fixtures for Brighton coming up are very tough. I just don't think they'll be keeping any clean sheets, and I do want to keep Cash, but this is a bit of a tough fixture on paper. So I would bench Cash, I'd get rid of Estupiñán for Trippier, I'd move Jota to, who did I just say? Oh my goodness. Diaby. I'd play Diaby as well. And then, yeah, I would leave it at that. Cash on the bench for Jota or Diaby in this case. So, yeah, that's my current thinking at the moment. Let me know what you guys would do with your team here if you had this team. But moving on to the mini league team of the game week. Now, I was surprised that the top score didn't quite get 100. They got 99, so they're actually tied for the highest score so far in the game. But yeah, what a team this is. I mean, so many assets going off here. The only blank in the team being Sterling. Absolutely incredible. Captain Haaland, Foden hauling, Fernandes hauling, Saka hauling, Maddison pretty much hauling, and Botman as well hauling. Morris returning high, Gahey getting a clean sheet, I think that is. Onana getting a clean sheet, Estupiñán getting attacking returns. Just points all over the board. A really, really nice score. And that's why you pick these consistent assets, let's be honest. You know the likes of Fernandes, Saka, Foden when he plays are going to get you points. Botman was pretty, I think that's an anomaly. I don't think Botman's going to be getting scores like that regularly, but he will tick over. And that's kind of why you pick Botman anyway, that you're hoping for those regular 6 pointers, maybe 9 if he gets the bonus points. But yeah, Really, really nice score here from Alison Wonderland. I do love that team name. And moving on to the Team of the Game Week leaderboard. Now, as there are a lot of people who are getting off the mark now with top 10s and medals, I decided to make it a 20. I was showing 20 teams here. Rabbitohs, Alan, still top with the 1 gold medal and 2 top 10 finishes. As you can see there, how many is that? That's 8 people now with a gold medal. Of course, we've only had 6 game weeks, but if there's a tie for first place, both teams get a gold medal, which is why, as you can see there, there's not actually many bronzes because there's usually been a tie for either a gold or a silver. And you can see there at the very bottom 2 top 10 finishes without a medal. So if either of those two, Paul and Matthew, if either of them got a gold medal, they would jump to number 1 straight away because of that. So that's why I put the top 10 there to basically sort any ties. But yeah, I'm hopeful for the first person to get 2 medals. Nobody so far has got 2 medals. Nobody's come in the top 3 in 2 separate game weeks. But yeah, I'm hopeful that that's going to happen before game week 10 is my prediction. I think before game week 10 we're going to see that. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It was a really, really terrible game week for me. I imagine a lot of you watching have now overtaken me, but I'm coming. I'm coming in the future game weeks to come and overtake you. Let me know what you guys are doing in terms of a transfer. Are you captaining a double game week player? I know the fixtures look good on paper, but Burnley and Luton, I would say 2 of the worst 3 teams in the league right now. I'm just not too sure about captaining their players when the likes of Haaland and Salah exist and don't have terrible fixtures this week. I might go for a Salah captaincy. Maybe that's just bias, though, purely because he outscored Haaland this week. But yeah, I do need to find some way of catching up the points, and that might be a good alternative to try and get there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next FPL video.